Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
What another beautiful Saturday morning. It's another great day, man. It's Saturday. It's a little rainy outside, or a little cloudy outside, but it's whatever, man. It's like I said, it's good. It's Memorial Day weekend. Our condolences to everyone who's had people in the service who lost their lives. We give our condolences. But like I said, it's a great and wonderful day, man. We got sports. We got Western Conference Finals. We got Major League Baseball. Teams are finishing up OTAs in the NFL. Just so much to get into. But if you don't know, you've entered inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and I am your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And of course, I'm not doing this by myself. Had to bring in my road dog like usual. My man, Mr. D Intellectual. What's going on, D?
Yo, we here. Like you said, rainy weekend, man, but we here, though.
We here, man. You know, it's good. It's a good day in Atlanta. Like I said, we were just talking about Chicago invading Atlanta.
Yeah.
What up, Chi-Town?
Chi-Town crazy. It's a big weekend.
Oh. That's Chicago. They know about that. But anyway, we got my mans on the ones and twos behind the glass. What up, G?
Yo.
There you go, always with that.
With the yo. Right. So, today, like I said, it's going to be a dope show. It's going to be a great show. We have special guest, Mr. Ab Stanley, the 3-Point Conversion senior writer. He's going to come in and talk about the NBA playoffs, what's going on with the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, so much to get into. We also have special guest, Mr. Derek Deese, former Super Bowl Pro Bowler, former NFL player who played with the San Francisco 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's going to be in today. Then a hot topic, we're getting into Chris Paul, his legacy. Talking about Major League Baseball, the Braves and the National League East, even though it's early, it's heating up. There's so much to get into, man. But look, make sure you let your family know they could tune in on 1100 AM radio locally in Atlanta. Also, you can check us out on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Radio Now on 1100 AM. And D, it's time to get to these quick hits.
Let's get it.
Shout out to Sharon Beats for the music. So, we've been on here, and I'm going to blame D because D talked about LiAngelo Ball and how he basically said he was garbage. And other people's talked about him. But, I guess Uncle LeVar, you know, he's still making moves. So how about LiAngelo Ball will have a pre-draft workout for the Los Angeles Lakers on Tuesday? It's not a big deal. It's a pre-draft, but the fact that everybody said, no, he's not getting on the roster. He can't do it.
Undrafted free agent rookie.
The crazy thing is, I don't know if people weren't been listening. Unc is already making noise because he's blaming the Lakers trainer
for Lonzo's
injury and all of that.
Yeah.
And yet still his son is working out for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Man, give Unc his props, man.
Give Unc his props,
man. He getting his what he told y'all. His boy's gonna play for the Lakers.
All three
of them. Undrafted free agent.
We have to get Unc on the show. We have to get
Yeah,
Unc
we're
on
going
the
to work
show.
on that.
Moving on. Big shout out to ex-Southern Illinois University defensive end player, Mr. Jason Seaman. I don't know if you heard, but, and I don't know why it wasn't big on the news like that, but in Indianapolis, Noblesville West Middle School, there was a shooting. A student armed with 2 handguns opened fire.
Middle school.
And Jason Seaman, I guess he teaches there. He came in and he tried to protect the students and he intervened and stopped the situation, but was shot 3 times in the abdomen, hip, and forearm. But yet still, he's doing good.
Shout out, hero.
And everything. So
Shout out, hero.
that's what you call a hero right
Real.
there, man. Had to do anything. Appreciate that, you know. And shout out to JJ Watt and everybody. They get all the praise, but something like this,
It goes unheard.
And why
it
are we
don't
not
be
talking
brought
about this?
out. It don't be brought up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just brought that up. That's not over the news. That's not a big, you know, and shout out to Santa Fe, man. We glad y'all healing and everything that
Right.
y'all going through.
Right.
But this is one of them situations where it's not brought up. It's not brought up where he caught 3 bullets, yo. Like,
3.
for real.
so
But I'm glad he made it, and I'm glad he being a great.
he almost did like Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost took 5.
Right.
Still rolling. But anyway, moving on. Major League Baseball, Mr. Alex Cologne. Is it Colome? Cologne?
Go with Cologne.
Cologne. We're going to go with Cologne. And Denard Span was traded to the Seattle Mariners for Andrew Moore and Tommy Romero. So, it's early. Usually you don't hear about trades like this. Denard Span, Cologne. Do you think this will catapult Seattle?
I think it's Seattle trying to make a move, trying to say, like, we not giving up.
Right.
I mean, like, we trying to figure it out, and we going for the gusto. You know, we know this Span, wasn't he like a top pick when he first got picked? Like, one maybe? Like,
I think he was number one.
like he was
I know
one,
he was close.
he was one of the top picks
I know
when
G
he
about to
did.
get that,
Yeah,
so-
I'm sure he's working on it now,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he was one of the top picks when he did it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, let's figure it out. Of course, I'm sure it got something to do with the Robinson Cano,
Right.
getting the 80 games.
Oh, of course, they had to make a move, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, real quick, why don't we hear about this more often with Major League Baseball teams trading early? Like you hear it in sometimes in basketball. I guess basketball they don't do it either, but football,
When it happened, it's on.
yeah. But like, why not? I mean, I don't understand.
I think what happens is because there's so many players and so many big players and so many mid-tier players and low-tier players that get moved around.
Right.
Until it's a big name, we don't really buy into it or see what the impact gonna do. But the impact with a Denard Span and an Alex Cologne could be big for Seattle.
Yeah, and like you said with the Cano situation. So, moving on. So we all talked about, D talked about it in his What's on My Mind last week with the gambling. You know, now it's legal, you know, sports gambling. So the New Jersey gambling world is suing the NFL and other leagues for trying to prevent gambling from spreading.
They selfish, man.
They not selfish. They done got bold with it. Bruh, okay. I mean, y'all got gambling. Calm down, bro.
Fall back. That's what they said.
Come on, man. Moving on. Listen to this. The Atlanta Falcons general manager, Thomas Dimitroff, ran into Aaron Rodgers at the Minneapolis airport. And he said that Rodgers told him, look, I know we don't know each other that well, but just get this Matt Ryan deal done so I can get on with my life. This is what he told Dimitroff.
Run me my cash. That's pretty much what he told him.
Yep.
Run me my cash. Let me get this bag. Go ahead and do what you need to do because I know I'm way better than dude.
I wish I could have been Dimitroff at that point because, you know, I would have.
Yeah, I'd have been like,
Get out of my face.
go
dog.
on, man. Get out of here.
Right.
NFC.
Right. Green Bay Packers.
Hey, but that's what Rodgers told him. Run me my cash. As soon as you sign him for this, what was it, 150, 100 guaranteed?
Yep.
I'm finna get 120 guaranteed.
And I think Rodgers is getting 18 and 19 next year. This year coming up, and then he's going to get. I know he's getting 20 next 2 years. I think.
As much as I don't like Green Bay, that's a travesty.
Yeah,
that's a travesty.
It is.
And we saw what happens to Green Bay when Rodgers not there.
Right. Go ahead, G.
It was. I mean, just the dictation of the market. You know, Aaron Rodgers getting 18, 20 million was what was supposed to happen.
Right.
But the salary cap went up, so and then Kirk Cousins threw everybody off. So it's expected that he would get that. Rodgers should and will get a raise.
Yeah. And last but not least, this man is winning. So Reuben Foster, San Francisco 49ers linebacker, you know, I talked about that when, you know, the case about the domestic charge, how old girl decided, because he took her to court, oh, never mind, I'm going to just drop the cases.
Old girl.
Yeah, old girl. And then, you know, and I brought up how he was charged for, he had a marijuana charge. Well, that's also been dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Can anything just go wrong for the 49ers? Like, everything is going right. Just, you get Richard Sherman. All these charges have been dropped. You thought it was about to be a wrap for Reuben Foster. Garoppolo.
Can we, I think I talked about it a little bit last week. Can we get to the point where other people have to deal with the situation that Reuben Foster had to go through?
Right.
I mean, the other side of, not necessarily the law, you know what I mean? But people that had to, can you imagine what he's been through the last 2 months?
Yep.
But he only got to go through it now. Nobody on the other side that accused them or the marijuana charge, nobody has to go through what he. Remember, 49ers said if it's deemed true, they gonna drop him.
Yeah,
flat out. So you know what his everyday wake up was?
I gotta prove
that it wasn't me. I might lose my job. I'm gonna be out here trying to figure out what's gonna happen. And then with that being said, we know how the NFL been lately on people that's been in domestic violence situations.
Right, and you know, think about. Everybody else in the league has been through this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Gordon. What's my man name in Cleveland for the Cleveland Browns? The guy that's always
Josh Gordon.
I'm not talking
the
about people
reefer
like
smoker.
That. Yeah.
What dude say? Leave the weed alone, man.
I'm talking about more so, you know, those players, man. Like, you know what the funny thing is? I'm gonna leave it alone, and I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty.
Well, he is innocent because him. Okay.
What about and you made me forget his name now, but my man in Dallas, it came from Greg Hardy. She dropped her charges, and everybody was like,
he still can't get a job.
Right, but remember, everybody's like, oh, he paid her off.
Right. What if he did? What if it was just a flat out? She was just trying. Yeah, he can't get a job. He MMA in now.
Right. So. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hello, I'm Crystal Dayon, and this is your sports news break. The Braves lost on the road 6-2 to the Boston Red Sox on last night. Mookie Betts hit his major league leading 17th home run. The Cleveland Cavaliers forced a Game 7 by beating the Boston Celtics 109-99. LeBron James was 1 assist away from getting a triple-double, and he scored 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. In the Western Conference Finals, the Houston Rockets will travel to Oakland to face the Golden State Warriors in Game 6. Chris Paul will not play because of a strained hamstring. Houston leads the series 3-2. The stage is set for the Stanley Cup Finals on Monday as the Vegas Golden Knights host the Washington Capitals for Game 1. Make sure to follow the 3-Point Conversion for all your major sports news updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Want to lower your rate and payments? Get rid of mortgage insurance or get cash out? Find out about your best refinance options by tuning into the Get Mortgage Fit radio show with Alex Michaels and Carrie Kasem, Monday afternoon at 12 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 p.m., and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., where you'll learn everything you need to know about mortgage loans, today's rates, FHA, VA, and more. Call the Get Mortgage Fit Show on the Real 1100 AM at 800-827-RATE. That's 800-827-RATE, or visit them online at newamericanfunding.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. Going to be a great show.
Yes, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. My man D Intellectual with me. I'm Mr. Controversy. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cuts Barbershop, which is located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Make sure you check them out. When I talk about the best of the best, or maybe the best barbershop, man, like I always say, great barbershop talk, sports talk, political, community, unity, helping the kids, all of that. Fellas, if you know, you need that time to go ahead and just, you know, talk about some stuff that's going on with you at home, whatever, you'll be safe. Because ain't nobody telling. Nobody snitching. You know what I'm saying? And shout out.
What goes on in the barbershop stays in the barbershop.
And shout out to Dwayne Chambers, a.k.a. at Simha the Barber on Instagram. Again, check him out on Instagram. Dude, cold with it. He about to bring something to y'all, to Atlanta. I don't know if y'all ready. But anyway, check him out on Instagram at Simha, SIMHATHEBARBER. And shout out to Z. He probably don't want me to say this, but one of the owners there. What up, Z? I ain't trying to put you out, bro, but hey, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, dog. The Dundada. And shout out to all the barbers there. So, this next topic, we saw Thursday night, Chris Paul. We saw why he was brought to this team. Leadership. He was having a bad first half, or he wasn't playing that well, I should say. Excuse me. And then all of a sudden he came in, second half went off, hitting double pump fadeaways, shimmying and all of that. And then at the end, it happened again. Strained his hamstring. Before we really get into it, your first thought when you first saw.
It's over with. It's over with. And you know what? With that shimming, I can respect Steph saying what he said. Like, if you expect a shimmy in front of somebody, you got to be able to take a shimmy too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let me give Steph the shout out for that. But when it first happened, it was like, again? Like, again.
Yeah, man.
Like, every time. You know what I'm saying? But it goes into the hot topic. Like, what does this do?
For his legacy. Like, it's his, like, now they're saying as Crystal said he's out for tonight. LA Broadus, the 3-point conversion insider, came out yesterday and said that it's looking 50-50 for Chris Paul to play in Game 7. They don't know yet. It's too early anyway,
Right.
But if he doesn't play and they lose, first, if he doesn't play and they win, does this? Greg looked at me like, "Hey, G was about to give me a stopper for saying if they win," but
he definitely looking like hand on the button. I'm about to.
Hey, but I'm just saying, if
look at his eyes.
I'm just saying, if man, we got to go with both. If they win somehow, but does it taint your legacy? And he's able to come back and play in the finals. Is it like, all right, you got past that, or or is it still like, see, there it goes again. It keeps happening.
So I think, right, like if they win and he come back, it's cool, right? Because what did he show us in these finals, right? These Western Conference finals. That he was there. He stepped up. Like the shots he hit was like that shot he hit on Steph was crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was almost a double pump 3. You know what I'm saying? How he hit it, whether it was luck, call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? He hit it. But overall, so a hamstring is one of them tricky things, right? It's one of them things where he can miss Game 6 and come back Game 7, but it's one where he can miss Game 6 and they can go to the finals and he'll be out for the next 5 games. A hamstring injury can turn in 2, 3, 4 weeks. You never know.
Right.
And the position that he plays, that's critical. That's very critical. So for his overall legacy, it was comments on it previously, like when he did get to the Western Conference Finals, like, what does this do for his legacy? At that point, getting to the Western Conference Finals, it does nothing. It says you're still a great point guard, and you're one of the top point guards.
Wait. You say it does nothing? You don't think it's silence? Because a lot of people remember they kept saying,
because you still haven't won anything.
True, but remember they kept saying he can't get to the Western Conference.
You still haven't won anything. You got to the Western Conference Finals.
Nah, that can't happen. How you gonna get on somebody for saying you can't get into the Western Conference Finals? You can't get it. Then when he gets in, you like, so what? You didn't. Nah, you can't do that.
I am though.
It's got to silence something.
It don't silence anything. You got to the Western Conference Finals. Getting to the Western Conference Finals, that's not winning. It's not winning for me. It's getting to the Western Conference Finals. You get to the Western Conference Finals and don't go to the finals. What that mean? Pat on the back. You got to the Western Conference Finals.
What I'm saying is, you can't say. I'm not saying you saying. I'm just saying for anybody. You can't say, you can't get to the Western Conference Finals. You can't get to the.
I'm saying it doesn't change his legacy for me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying it doesn't do anything.
Right.
It's great, but it doesn't change. It don't change his legacy for me.
Right.
Now he win that ring. Now that changes things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even and for me, even getting to the finals doesn't change your legacy.
He's already
right.
Great.
He's already great. Getting that ring though.
So okay. So now, if they don't win. And he doesn't play Game 7. Dang, I'm just saying it. If Houston loses Game 6, but if they don't win,
the focus will just shift back to James Harden.
Right, and that's what it's gonna do.
So, right. So that's a good point. So now, G, if you're saying that, so
you know what we're gonna say next year?
We're giving him. So will we give him a pass then?
No, you know what we're gonna say next year? Chris Paul got hurt in the playoffs.
But he made a good point because it will shift to James Harden and that's what we were talking about last night. I think that no matter what, it's horrible for Chris Paul. You have your Chris Paul naysayers, but the fact that Harden is the star, superstar. If you're MVP, you got to own it.
There's more expected of James Harden because even with Chris Paul not getting to the Western Conference Finals until this year, it wasn't like he was playing terribly. He was playing against better teams.
Right.
Right.
But with James Harden, he has a history of playing awful in big games. And now it's just going to be him. It's just going to be him out there. I mean, maybe, I don't know if Ariza or Tucker's games will travel.
And with that being said, other than game, what was that, 5, where he scored 30-something, and game 1, his stats every game has went down. What was the first game, 40?
First game he had like 41.
Then it went to 26. Then it went to 21. Then he did jump up to 30, and then what it was the last game.
Like 20-something.
Dude.
You always do that. Wait, you all can call in. I know we have about 3 minutes left. Call in at 404-603-8770. Again, it's 404-603-8770. You're right. But with Chris Paul, can we put him inside the Tracy McGrady situation? And you brought it up. You alluded to it last night when we were talking off air. So what's the difference between him and Tracy McGrady? Because Tracy McGrady, he didn't have help. Just like I always say, Chris Paul didn't have help.
I don't feel like he didn't have help because that LA Clippers team, he had a squad.
Man, Griffin got hurt every time. Griffin got hurt every.
Go ahead and say
playoff.
Every week. Every week
he got hurt. He was garbage at that point, but
you had quote unquote Doc, right?
Right.
He had
it.
Think about Tracy McGrady.
But he was. But
think about Tracy McGrady's teams. Think about his team. Who he played with in Orlando. Pat Garrity, Daryl Armstrong.
He played with Doc Rivers.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like Tracy McGrady, literally every year had nobody. We got a caller.
Yeah, let's go ahead with the caller.
Hey, what's going on? It's Mike again, the guy that said the Rockets will win the 7 games.
Go ahead, Mike.
What's going on? And my, how the world has turned and how the Rockets have shown y'all a little something.
That's the funny thing is I don't know. You're right. They have shown us something. They're different, but at the same time, it's the fact that Chris Paul is. I mean,
and not just that, Mike. Let's be 100. Say Iggy getting hurt don't matter.
Well, I'll say this about the Warriors, and the big reason why the Warriors are actually losing these games is because the Warriors have become an ISO basketball team and trying to become the same team.
They playing Houston.
They do the same thing that Houston's doing.
Yep.
They can't Houston do it.
Yep. Right. So, look, Mike, we appreciate the call. We got to go. But I would say this. I think we're talking about Tracy McGrady. Mm-hmm. Tracy McGrady, he didn't have help. And I compare, he didn't have help in Orlando. Chris Paul didn't have help in New Orleans. Even though David West was nice.
Yeah, he ain't had help.
So what I'm saying is, when Tracy got to Houston, he had Yao. But what happened?
Yao.
But listen, Yao was what?
They ain't play together that much.
Because he was hurt, right?
Right.
So my point is, Griffin was hurt almost every playoff, if not every playoff they play together. So it's the same.
Touche.
So all I'm saying is now he has that.
Touche.
He has that chance, and then he gets hurt again. It's like, this is Tracy McGrady.
And I'd be mad. They be trying to get Yao all this prop. He played, 6 years?
Like that joke is a legend.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have more basketball coming up. We'll be right back.
Point guard for the Atlanta Dream, and I listen to Mr. Controversy on the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
What it is, what it ain't, this your boy Sherm, host of Face the Music. Join me every Wednesday night for Power Hour, where we intersect the worlds of sports and music, and we do it the best way we can, which is on a Sherm beat. So if you're ready to come through, catch some realness, vibe to some dope sounds, tune in to Face the Music every Wednesday on the 3-Point Conversion station. Let's get it.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy, the intellectual, having a great time, man. Already getting heated, talking about NBA and the playoffs.
When is rain gonna go away, though?
Bro, they talking about another week and a half, aren't they? Like,
but the crazy part is that they be saying it's gonna rain, and then it don't rain.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All them Cubs games that was going on, and they said it was gonna rain, and go to them, it ain't rain.
I don't know.
I get some great tickets.
That was your fault, because I told you to go the day before when it wouldn't rain. No, it's gonna rain.
Then I go. What happened?
And it rained. I told you that though. But anyway, we're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And we talked a little bit about the Western Conference and the playoffs, but more so about Chris Paul. But now we're going to focus on the actual games. And we're bringing in a special guest, the 3-Point Conversion's own senior writer, Mr. Ab Stanley. What's going on, Ab?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How's it going?
We're good. How
about
man?
Yourself, bro?
Hey, on a side note, man, I would love to be a fly on the wall of that Thomas Dimitrov, Aaron Rodgers encounter, right?
I know, right? I know, man.
That was crazy.
That's what I said. I wish I could have been there. Yeah, that's crazy. So look, Al. So we have the games, and especially last night, we saw Boston lose. LeBron James was LeBron James again, 46 points. Did what he always do. But going to Game 7, how much of a chance do you give Cleveland? I know they have LeBron, but it's the others and they're on the road. How much of a chance do you give Cleveland to win Game 7?
Yeah, I think the LeBron factor, it gives them above a 50% chance. But these guys have not played good at all on the road. I mean, J.R. Smith essentially has disappeared from the end of the Toronto series until Cal Korver is a mismatch in most defensive situations. So it's hard for Tyronn Lue to consistently have him on the court. It's a wonder why Lue doesn't want to play Clarksons and Dance Juniors and Jeff Green's a little bit. I mean, I know Dance Jr. and Green played a lot last night, but on the road, I mean, like he doesn't trust the younger guys. I don't know what is hurt. I don't see him at all. It's really hard for me to pick Cleveland in Boston because, like you said, it's LeBron James, and now, I mean, Kevin Love has been doing his part for the most part, and he's probably not going to play.
Right. Will you it sound like you in space, bro?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's the phone. Something's going on. But
going on.
Ab, you are right, and I agree. It's like if Kevin Love doesn't play,
and that's big. You got to think about it. That's a concussion. That's concussion protocol. You can't just be like, I'm gonna play because it's Game 7.
Right.
Like if they say you can't play, you not gonna play.
No.
And now for Brad Stevens to have that ace in the hole. That's a whole nother game plan that Brad Stevens going to do.
Right.
Now, with that being said, who you think the X factor for Boston in Game 7?
Yeah, X factor for Boston. I mean, let's face it, Al Horford plays good in most of the Boston, even in a couple of their losses. Last night, he did not have a great game. He impacted the rebounding, which is right around his average. But, I mean, 6 points? No. Al Horford is going to have to score. He's going to have to abuse whoever. Because, remember, Kevin Love wasn't the greatest defender against Al Horford, and it was putting Cleveland in a mismatch when Horford was at the 5. Tyronn Lue comes back. He goes with Tristan Thompson at the 5 and puts Love at 4. Brad Stevens has to come back and start Baines. So now with no Love, you don't have to start Baines. You put Horford back at the 5, and that's a mismatch now. When you have Thompson on him, you bring him out to the 3-point line, and you let him create. What Al Horford is to the team, which a lot of people don't see because it doesn't show up in the stat, he's actually one of their better playmakers. The ball goes into him, he sees the court better than a lot of the guards and smaller wing players in the league. So he makes plays for those young guys to feel comfortable. So I think tonight, without Kevin Love, they have to go early and often to Horford, and whether he's scoring or making plays, he'll be the key for Boston.
And once again, we're here live with App Stanley, 3-point conversion senior writer. So my next question is, besides James Harden, who do you think needs to step up? For Houston, it's Game 6. We know Chris Paul's not going to be there. Who do you think needs to step up?
Yeah, and that's very sad about Chris Paul, not only because of his career and how it's gone with the injuries, but it's just sad. You're going to get a whole bunch of conspiracy theories. Like I made a joke the other day. It's like, you're just going to get somebody that says the NBA injured Chris Paul on purpose so Golden State go win. But
right.
Eric Gordon has been playing good. I had it all geared up where I was going to tell you about Eric Gordon's stats, and I'm starting to realize that Eric Gordon is actually a better player than I'm giving him credit for. So I'm not going to say he's the key because now obviously he's going to have to step up in Paul's absence. He's going to be the starter. It's already been announced. But I'm looking more at a guy like a Clint Capella because, a lot of these last couple of games, I wouldn't say he's faded away. He does his defensive part. He gets to the boards. But he was more active offensively at the onset of these playoffs. When the playoffs started, and Capella was up there 15, 16 points. I remember one game, I want to say early in this series, maybe game 1, where he had like 14 straight points, 12 straight points in the first quarter, and it seems like now they're just kind of moving away from him offensively. And guess what? Without Chris Paul, everybody thinks there's going to be this insurmountable you only got to win one game. That's what people are forgetting. Golden State hasn't felt this kind of pressure, I would say, since the team has been put together, the Curry, Klay, Thompson, Draymond Green, Iguodala team, but they definitely haven't felt this pressure since KD's been there. I wanted to say before this series, they lost a total of 2 playoff games with KD and Steph on the floor at the same time. So they haven't felt this pressure before. If you're the Houston Rockets, and I think I want to credit Jeff Van Gundy for saying this, what's to say you can't win this game? A guy like Capella, if he gives you 16, 17 points, a little bit above his average, if a guy like Gordon gives you 4 or 5 above his points, a little bit above his average, all you need is to mix and match 5 points here, 6 points there from a guy like a Capella, P.J. Tucker, dust off Joe Johnson, you know what I mean? Like anybody who can create his own shot or score on a more easier level, those guys have to step up. And I think Mike D'Antoni has the task of finding which guys is going to do it. And
you said Joe Johnson. He like 92 years old. He
don't think,
but I like him actually. I think on a one-on-one, first off, he's strong as I don't know what. So you put him in the post, he can do damage. But I think where the liability comes from on the offensive end, trying to stick any of them. But that's a good point because I think he's been kind of marinating on the bench, but he could do some things. With that being said, what changes you think Golden State need to do to win this series?
Golden State needs to find out whatever zip code Kevin Durant decides to go to in the fourth quarter of these last couple of games. And Curry, too. It's been pointed out, or lack thereof, that these guys don't get criticized at the end of games for disappearing. Kevin Durant went 0 for 5. This is Kevin Durant. By popular demand, he's the best scorer in the NBA. You do not go 0 for 5 in a game where if Houston goes up, it's going to put major pressure on your team. If you're Kevin Durant tonight, you got to, whether Steve Kerr has to give him a little bit more time on the bench before the fourth quarter, because let's face it, without Iguodala, these guys are doing extra. Whoever he brings off of the bench, they're not an adequate replacement for Iguodala. Not Swaggy P, not a Kevin Looney, not, whoever he brings in to soften that blow of Iguodala. A guy like a Durant, he's going to have to do more on the defensive side. Clay's going to have to do more defensively, and Curry's going to have to do more defensively. But the real adjustment is the guys that usually do it, they need to start doing it again. Because let's face it, Golden State, they played bad. They played bad down the stretch. Thompson misses shot. This is their big three. Draymond Green has a turnover. Curry misses a layup. Thompson misses a three. Durant doesn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter. To me, all they need to do is reverse back to the Golden State that was winning the championships, where Curry's hitting threes, Draymond Green is making the right play. Kevin Durant goes into the post and gets easy buckets, I don't want to see, if I'm Steve Kerr, I want the game to come back down to earth in the fourth quarter. This mad pace of third quarter runs where you guys are launching up threes and it's all flags and hallelujah. It goes back to the fourth quarter where it's like, okay, well, we're the best players on the court, so we can do whatever. No. You got to keep that intensity from the third quarter into the fourth quarter. And guess what? You're going to have to play defense because Houston has found a way to do it.
And to piggyback on that, KD didn't even shoot a shot. Was it the fourth game in the fourth quarter? He went 0 for 0.
Yeah, like he didn't get a shot up. So
like you can't do that.
Yeah, I thought that was the problem too. Is like they're not giving. And maybe it's running into you have so many weapons. Who do you?
They playing Houston game,
right? So I don't know, but man, Ab, we thank you and appreciate you for coming on, sir. Please, please, please let everyone know where they can find you and follow you.
Well, y'all know I'm at the 3pointconversion.com. My name is Ab Stanley. You could also find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Ab Stanley or Ab Stanley at the 3pointconversion.com.
All right, there you have it, Mr. Ab Stanley. Appreciate you, sir, once again, and have a great day. I want to ask you, though, real quick, before we go to break. Do you think with bringing Joe Johnson in, like, where could he fit in? Because G was over here looking like, nah. What, you don't think he can fit in at all?
Not in this series.
Wait.
Defense,
not
right?
In this series,
right.
He's a liability defensively.
Okay, right. But what I know, and I know
like
he's cold.
You look at Capella. Capella's playing like 20-something minutes, and
so he
D'Antoni only has a 7-man rotation.
So wait, but he couldn't guard Looney. Looney's coming in.
I think he's too small for Looney.
But Looney can't do anything.
But he gonna jump over him. Whether it's rebounds, whether it's anything, he's not long enough for Looney.
Who's supposed to guard Looney? Joe Johnson? You expect him to bang down low?
Right.
At his age?
But the thing is,
he
102.
But that's what I'm saying, though. At Golden State, the big man more so is irrelevant. Looney is no.
So only person that's gonna get rebounds is Capella?
Capella. Oh, who else is getting rebounds and playing at the power forward? When they run it, think about it. He still could be in there though.
So what you saying? Harden? You saying Harden, Joe Johnson, PJ Tucker, Ariza, and Capella?
It's more like
if Gordon. I'm saying with Gordon needs a blow.
That's real small.
Gordon needs a blow, but usually Golden State's been going small. That's what I'm saying. Golden State, the only guy they had was.
But they small. They small is big still.
Right, but think about this. Forget dictating to that team. You make them dictate. Now, when you run a pick and roll, I don't care who you switch on. Now, you're going to have a mismatch.
That's a fact because Joe, like we got to mention on Facebook, Joe can give you 10, 15.
Right, and I'm just saying, try it. I mean, if it goes sour, take it out, but you have a mismatch. Because remember, they had to take Looney out last game because it was Chris Paul, but because they were doing a pick and roll.
But with putting Joe Johnson in there, does that changes Houston's game?
Not necessarily. You still can have Harden. This time you have Joe Johnson come in and pick the player.
But you're expecting Joe Johnson to do something defensively that we've never seen him do.
Ever.
But with Looney, who's ever guarded him?
Looney is an inside player.
And he is low-key very important to they rotation.
No, he's been brought in because of Iguodala. The other guy, the rookie, I can't think of his name.
Jordan Bell?
Jordan Bell's
No.
he's more like you have to guard him.
They've gave
Looney's gotten
more.
those minutes.
He's gotten the minutes because Bell got hurt in the second half of the season and he lost on it, and Looney came in and was able to fill in and do his thing.
What I'm saying.
And also, when Bell came in the other day, you saw the rookie mistakes. Remember, Looney's in his third year.
Bell was doing nice though.
But he still was making those rookie mistakes. Not necessarily turnovers, but those miscues in your...
I get that, but at the same time, Looney was a liability on the other end, and that's why they had to take him out, because they were killing him. And what I'm saying is now...
so you trade him in and put Bell in, then now what?
I mean, then you take him out. But that's why I said you have Joe Johnson to... I mean, don't dictate. I'm just saying.
We're going to see tonight.
Look, we're
supposed to be on break 17 minutes
We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mike Patton, a.k.a. The General. And on my Saturday mornings, I got my feet kicked up, chilling, listening to my boys, The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, ripping in the lounge.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
The Georgia Renaissance Festival is open all 3 days of Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Bring the whole family and see the death-defying full-armored joust. Feast on giant turkey legs. And shop the 32-acre Artisan Village. Memorial Day Monday, all military get-in free with ID, plus up to 4 family members at just $8 each at the gate. Find other discounts at GARenfest.com.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy here with The Intellectual.
You know it.
Having a great time, man. Talking smack.
This weekend finna be lit, boy.
You think?
I know.
What you...
You know, other than the basketball, I told you, man, Chi-Town invading Atlanta, man.
Yes, sir.
Problem. It's going to be a problem, baby.
Be a problem. Great day, man. Great weekend. Now, this next segment, What's on My Mind, is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Purchase your apparel today exclusively at facebook.com. Sucker Free Life LLC. SUCKAFREE LIFE LLC.
That's sucker, not sucker.
Not sucker. So, what's on my mind?
You know, it's always time for that.
Yeah, I have a lot of what's on my mind, man, and probably going to step on some toes right now again, and I'm going to say it because this has been bothering me for the last week, and I came out on social media and said something about it. And if it's your first time listening, What's on My Mind is a segment where we talk about what's on our mind, 4 to 5 minutes each. The stuff that's been bothering us, we don't get, we don't quite understand. I always say we don't vent. We're men. So just let me holler at you for a minute. So, oh man. Watching these playoffs. And it's not about LeBron, but watching LeBron and seeing how LeBron comes in, and he's been clutch lately. And when you think about it, LeBron, I mean, we usually say clutch if we talk about the last second shot. But LeBron, usually he's been clutch. He plays well, whether it's a block shot, grabbing an important rebound, steal, scoring, dunking, whatever. But everybody always tends to get on LeBron for not being clutch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's not clutch. He's not this. He's, it's always about LeBron. I understand he's a great player. I understand he's the best player in the NBA. That's fine. But we look at a certain player, another player, who's the golden boy of the NBA, Mr. Stephen Curry. This man shoot from anywhere. I guess nice smile, people like it. I don't know. Has that cheery attitude everybody loves. Plays on a winning team. And at one point, 2 to 3 years ago, he was considered top 3 in the league. But if you go down his career in the playoffs, maybe 2 times I can say that he's been clutch. I mean, it comes to mind, I think about when he hit that big shot against New Orleans in the first round like 2 or 3 years ago. And then I think one time in the finals, he came alive. But for the most part, whether it's the finals or the playoffs, during clutch time, that's like the last 6-7 minutes, we don't hear nothing about Steph Curry. He can go off during the game, but last 6 minutes, bricks, turnovers, that's it. The year that Oklahoma City had him 3-1, Klay Thompson came alive in all of those games at the end. Where was Steph Curry? Oh, he was hurt. The game 7 in the finals when he had the ball and he couldn't get past Kevin Love, which I ain't gonna lie, he had to be hurt if he can't get past Kevin Love. But even if he wasn't or was, he didn't make it. So why do we give Steph Curry a pass when it comes to being clutch? Is it because he looks like a young little boy, has the boyish looks? Is it because he plays with a team that everybody likes? Maybe because he don't proclaim himself to be the greatest. Nah, you don't get that, bruh. I don't care. We're going to call a spade a spade. If you're not clutch, you're not clutch. You were a 2-time MVP, and it seems like every time the team needs you late in the game, you don't come through. But social media fans, NBA fans, we never talk about that. But as soon as LeBron misses a shot, or even Westbrook, you look at Westbrook, he doesn't proclaim to be the greatest, but every time, oh, he's not clutch. He's not this, he's not that. But they use clutch. He's not clutch. But Steph Curry, you don't hear that. But he's not. I'm just saying, y'all, if we're going to be NBA fans, let's be real. Let's be fair. Let's call it like it is. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. He's not clutch. And that's it. I like Steph Curry. I don't have nothing against him. I like him. But he's not clutch. And it's not right when you get on LeBron, you get on Westbrook, you get on anybody else about being clutch. But when it comes to the golden boy, he gets a pass. Stop it. That's what's on my mind.
10-4, I hear you. Definitely. I think it goes into the media liking Steph. Him being, like you said, the golden boy, the face of the NBA, even with his wife and Riley and all that's going on.
Good dude.
You know what I'm saying? When you were first saying about LeBron, I was gonna say, well, that's because he's not proclaiming to be the greatest, so that's what you bring onto yourself. But then when you mentioned Russ, it was kind of like, yeah, Russ don't bring that up. So how you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely give you kudos for that. So that's definitely a fact, man. We gotta hold you accountable, dog. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for me to talk about what's on my mind. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I get down. That's why I'm called the intellectual, because I'm always on some other. So I'm gonna touch on it a little bit with the NFL joint, you know, with what they recently came up with, and we're gonna get on that a little deeper in the show. But the reason I got to touch on that, because I also got to bring up Sterling Brown. Shout out to Sterling Brown, Shannon Brown. They from the crib, Maywood. Shout out Proviso East, all that. You know what I mean? But the reason I bring that up is because exactly what happened to him on in January, and the tape just came out this week, is why Cap kneels. It's why Eric Reed kneels. He literally came out of Walgreens. You know, Milwaukee is, you know, kind of like Chicago in that aspect of, you know, where Walgreens are. You know what I'm saying? I've done it. I'm sure my co-host has done it, and most people has done it. If you running in somewhere and somebody in your car, you're going to pull over, however it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't care if you in the lanes or how you parking. I'm finna run in here real quick, grab some cash from the ATM, and keep it moving. The man literally came out. I watched the entire video. He literally came out, asked the police officer what's going on. The police officer said something to him. He, you know, let him know what was going on, and he instantly called backup. Even when they, even when they start coming, the police officer said himself, I didn't mean this many people to come. I only wanted one to come. I didn't know all of these people was going to come. So even when they came, it's funny. I'm finna tell you the whole thing. I watched it over and over. Even when they came, he still was being calm. Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, his father is a police officer, or was a police officer in Maywood. So he knows how to deal with the police. He knows not to get aggressive. He was never aggressive. The entire time, his alarm was going off. So he got his hands in his pocket, going in, pulling out his alarm, turning the alarm off. Mind you, it's somebody in the car with him. It's a female in the car with him. So he's being respectful. He's giving him what he's asking for, gave him his ID. He say, what's your name? It's on my ID. You see my picture? You see what it is? It's on my ID. I don't have to talk to you like that. Give me my $60 ticket, my $75 ticket, and let it be what it's going to be. Nah, that ain't what dude with the badge want to do. He want to show this black man that I'm in control. You understand what I'm saying? And that's exactly how it came off. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what we do here. He wanted to show him that, so he showed him that. So all these other police officers come up. They surround him, like flat out. It's 4 officers. They flat out, like a square, surrounded him and put him in the middle. He's still being calm. He's still being cool. His alarm going off. Mind you, this entire time, he got his hands going in and out of his pocket. He is not being threatened. He's not threatening them. He's not doing anything but turning his alarm off. So all this going on. So the last time he go in his pocket, they tell him to pull his hand out of his pocket. And as he's trying to pull it out, or whatever the case may be, they grab him, take him down, tase him, and all this. So the first thing that I noticed is that this police officer saw a 6'3" to 6'7" black man approach him, and he instantly got scared, got however he needed to be, and that initially made him get cause for concern. First off, if you're a police officer and you scared of one man, you need to change your occupation, brother. You need to do something else, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be able to defend yourself and take care of the community. Don't forget you're here to serve us. We're not here to serve you. So when they talking to him, they definitely talking to him down. So when they flip him over, tase him, and do everything, right? He never resisted. He never nothing, right? First off, if you tase me, how you want me to put my hands behind my back? If you tasing me, how am I going to put my hands behind my back? It's not gonna happen. I can't. You tasing me. I don't know what's going on. My mind tased. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. So all that go down. They pull him up. I hear one of the officers say, "You look familiar. This name look familiar." You know what he said? Yeah, I know. He still hadn't brought up nothing about him. He didn't pull that card that I play for the Bucks. He didn't pull that card that I'm an NBA player. He ain't never pulled it until they start saying, you look familiar. What's going on? So he, eventually got to the point where, all right, all this going on, they recognize who he is. Then you see the police officer on camera. Well, he did this. Now the police officer, because he's recording this and this going on, he started trying to explain what was going on, what I did, why I did what I did, and all this, trying to cover his tracks in a sense. It was a sad situation, and I am so glad that the public was able to see it, because if this tape hadn't came out, they would have said Sterling Brown did everything wrong. And I'm going to tell you, he did everything he was supposed to do. But that's what we have to deal with as black men in this society. It's sad. And that's why Cap kneel. And that's why Eric Reed kneel. And that's why we kneel with Cap, because of this situation and what we got to deal with every day. I can go on and on about this, but that's what's on my mind, yo.
Yep, there's nothing to say about that. It's unfortunate. Like I said, it's jacked up. I always say that it's bogus. I'm gonna go to commercial break. I'm not gonna get into it because, like you said, if I get into it, then we might keep going. I might get kicked out the air. So it's some BS. You know what I'm saying? So that's all right. That's why we got the platform. That's why we can talk about it and do stuff like that. Yep, that's the whole purpose of it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You are tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Come to the Georgia Renaissance Festival, where you'll see
Robin Hood, a Mary Queen, boards of swords and juggling, men in tights who like to fight with sharp things in their hands. Yeah. Clothing, jewelry, pottery, it's like you've won the lottery. Stop on by. Why not hurry? For fun and food and drink.
The Renaissance Festival is open every weekend through June 3rd, just south of Atlanta's airport on I-85. Get discount tickets at select Sam's Clubs or at GARenfest.com. It's more fun than you can shake a turkey leg at.
Homeowners, in today's world, no neighborhood is immune from burglaries. Get a state-of-the-art monitored home security system for Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, and get peace of mind today. Call right now, 1-888-213-2244, 1-888-213-2244. Local permit fees may be required. License number CAACO 6320, KY City of Louisville 483, and FLEC 13003427. Call for additional numbers. Call now, 1-888-213-2244.
What's going on, world? This your boy Vincent J, a.k.a. the Fantasy Guru. And do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? It's time for the Stop It segment, right here on the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the Stop It button.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I want to thank everyone. We want to thank everyone who's listening live, even listening to the podcast later on as a podcast or the archives. But we appreciate you, everyone on Facebook Live. Appreciate the support. Doesn't go unnoticed. Appreciate you. And also, I want to give a special shout out to my man Wayne, who is in the chair right now. And it's true that if it wasn't for Wayne, he's in the barbershop right now getting his haircut, I might not be in this position. And not just because he paid the way or anything like that, but just watching him, you know what I'm saying, watching him be that inspiration, just the everyday things that he's done or he does, and seeing that, you know, and him just talking and not even knowing what he's doing, but how he instilled that go get him attitude, you know, and what to do and how to conduct yourself, man. Wayne, I appreciate you, sir. I salute you, bruh. Everybody in the barbershop, give it up for Wayne. All right, so now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop, 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 stop it! Stop it, stop it.
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it!
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, D, it's on you, sir. What is your Stop It?
So this week the all NBA teams came out, and D Lillard, Dame, finally got the representation that he has deserved. And there's been a lot of people that don't feel like he should have got all NBA first team. So after the All-Star break, Dame Lillard arguably was the best point guard in the league. Put up great numbers, should have been in the MVP conversation, but with the, you know how they go now, they make finals in it where it's, three people, with the three people that was above him, you really can't argue about. But that second half of the season, Dame Lillard did nothing but what he was supposed to do. However, the playoffs, he didn't, his team didn't do whatever. But I got to give it a stop it to them people that think Dame Lillard didn't deserve to be on the All-NBA first team, because I can't think of a point guard. Maybe Russ, but Russ' team overall didn't do what he was supposed to do. So I'm giving a stop it to the people that don't think Dame Lillard should have been All-NBA first team.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
G, I see you looking crazy. You got something to say?
I don't believe that. Stop it. The last two or three.
I think the last one was for me.
No, like I think he pretty much had that first team spot sewn up at the All-Star break, and it didn't matter that Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double again.
Thank you.
But he had it sewn up, and Portland was playing well. So who are these other people voting for? Like, he got enough votes to have the most.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, who else would you pick? First off, I don't think Steph Curry should have even been on the All-NBA team.
All right, we got to wrap it up because I know we're late.
Yeah.
So, real quick, I'm going to do too quick. First stop, and I'm going to give it to D Intellectual for saying that you bugging. He had a triple-double, dog. And the seed was higher. You bugging. Can I give him a stop it?
Stop it. He had
All right.
Carmelo and Paul George.
True. That's why Dame was able to score as much. Yeah, 24. Anyway, but no, for real, stop it. The real stop it goes to the Baltimore Ravens. So the NFL is trying to come up with ways to, I guess, stop injuries. You know what I'm saying, to prevent injuries. And with the kickoff right now, now they get the ball at the 25-yard line and everything. So the Baltimore Ravens came up with this idea, and they went to propose the idea of giving the kickoff team an extra point for kicking the ball through the upright during the kickoff to prevent collisions and injuries during the kickoff. So again, the Baltimore Ravens want to propose an idea to give the kicking team an extra point for kicking the ball through the upright during the kickoff. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Dude, if you beat me by 1 point because you kicked the ball through the upright, it's going down. I'm setting it off. Like
there aren't even kickers that can do that.
Right.
Some do. And that's the reason why, because they have Justin Tucker. And Justin Tucker,
he can kick 80-yard field goal.
So it's like, but still, even if, like D said, if I lose
in the Super Bowl because you done kicked a ball through a kickoff through the, man, look here.
I'm not. If I'm upper management, I'm knocking all the computers
this
down.
This joint going down. It's going down. The fans running on the field tearing this joint up.
Crazy. Anyway, that wraps up our Stop It segment. We will be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
Hello, I'm Crystal Dayon, and this is your sports news break. The Braves lost on the road 6-2 to the Boston Red Sox on last night. Mookie Betts hit his major league leading 17th home run. The Cleveland Cavaliers forced a Game 7 by beating the Boston Celtics 109-99. LeBron James was 1 assist away from getting a triple-double, and he scored 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. In the Western Conference Finals, the Houston Rockets will travel to Oakland to face the Golden State Warriors in Game 6. Chris Paul will not play because of a strained hamstring. Houston leads the series 3-2. The stage is set for the Stanley Cup Finals on Monday as the Vegas Golden Knights host the Washington Capitals for Game 1. Make sure to follow the three-point conversion for all your major sports news updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes. We are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy, The Intellectual, G, having a good time. What you got going on this weekend, sir?
I already know, man. We've been talking about it all day. Chicago invades Atlanta, man. It is what it is. I ain't going to be able to do everything, though. Player done got old.
What's going on tonight, then? What's the thing tonight?
So today is supposed to be a mansion pool party, but you know it's rainy, so we don't know what that's going to do. And it's a party later on the night at 11:45, which is on Peachtree. It's a club, 2,200, 2,300 Peachtree, something like that. Tomorrow morning at Opium, it's an all-white day party. I got some fresh Vapor Maxes to pull out, all white. And then tomorrow night, it's another party. Don't know the exact spot, but I definitely can. I definitely know what the spot is and all that. But man, it's a heavy night. It's a lot going on. It's a heavy weekend. Like I said, a player done got old and can't do it like he used to. Oh, tomorrow night it's at Atrium. It's an 80s 90s party. You know what I'm saying? So I got an old Adidas jogging suit to throw on, and you know what I'm saying. Try to get a little funky with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I can't do all of them. I need a nap.
I know, right?
What you got going on?
Man, I want to do. That's what I was asking about tonight. My brother in town, so I'm trying to kick it or something.
That's even better.
But yeah, he from the Shire, of course. But we I suppose to cover this. I shouldn't say that. We have the Atlanta Dream tonight, and then shout out to my sister daughters, my nieces, Deanna and Danae. They have their graduation parties on Sunday, and then Monday I'm covering the Braves game. I think it's a doubleheader too. So, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But, yeah, so we'll be there for that. And then like I said, I shout out my nieces, Deanna and Danae, and I want to shout out Mr. Marvin M.J. Lewis Witherspoon. He graduated from Douglas County. Congratulations, sir. And that's coming from your father, Mr. Witherspoon, and from the 3-Point Conversion appreciate you for doing what you're supposed to do, you know? Mm-hmm. So this next segment is coming to you, and it is called Who Does It Better? And we have to invite Miss Crystal Dayon. What's going on, Crystal?
What's going on?
Crystal, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
What's going on?
Good. Yeah, we good. What's going on with you? You ready for this?
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yes, we ready. All right. And people, you all can play along. You know, get your see if you can figure out. Now, how the game goes, once again, is the segment, I should say, is she's going to mention some people. She's going to talk about what they're doing or what's going on, you know, whether it's right now or in the past, whatever. And they're in the entertainment world, and then we have to compare them and see who's that sports figure, who they're compared to as far as the sports figure.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely correct. So last night, Kendrick Lamar was in town with the championship tour, and so we're going to talk about him. And, you know, Kendrick Lamar is doing it big right now. I mean, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. He won that back in April. He's been called the voice of this generation. He is just at the top of his game in terms of being his technical ability with the field, with this particular field of art and rapping. And I'm just really interested. He's young, he's fresh, he's a prodigy. And I don't think we've seen the best from him yet. And I'm wondering, who is the Kendrick Lamar in the sports industry?
Oh, that's a tough one. So Kendrick Lamar, and like you said, with him being, you know, his art, he's at the top of his game. The way he came in, he's young, he's already dominated.
Mm-hmm. And he has a good balance. You know, he's able to, you know, be kind of pro-Black without alienating other cultures. Recent situation, he was in the news recently.
Girl on the stage.
Yeah.
Right.
Brought a fan on stage, and she rapped the N-word, and, you know, she just
gave her one chance.
She happens to be white. Yeah, and he just said, you got to bleep one word, and there's been a lot of controversy around that recently as far as, like, was it a setup? Is it okay? You wrote the song this way. You know, but I'm just really curious because he's current, he's fresh, he's very relevant. He really represents the voice of America right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a Pulitzer Prize, the first rapper ever. And he's only 30.
Shout out to K. Dot. He was just here last night.
Yeah, he was here last night.
He was just here last night. Shout out to K. Dot. I'm sure he's around if anybody know him or listening. So it's crazy, right? Because I don't see no one having the success that he has on that side. But for the way that he is pro-Black, I can only think of Cap. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. Again, it's not on the field type side because at the time Cap wasn't producing on the field per se. But for him to take that kneel, it led to even Kendrick Lamar talking about what he's talking about.
Yeah, but
and everybody else talking
but on
about
the field though, man. What? That's easy to say that.
But you.
I mean,
who?
And we're talking right now. We're not talking now. So go ahead.
All right, I might go in a little different direction because he's not playing anymore. But I would say Kobe, because if we haven't seen what Kendrick Lamar is capable of, we think he could go to another level. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that with Kobe right now outside of basketball. He's getting into film and TV. He's already won an Academy Award. We see how he thinks as far as with the Detail series on ESPN. And even though that's still related to basketball, but we actually get to see how he thinks and kind of where his mind is. We always knew he was a different guy. He was a different kind of guy. He speaks fluent Italian and probably a couple of other languages. But now we're getting to see what Kobe is capable of outside of basketball. And that's still just as intriguing as watching him play.
I feel you somewhat on that, but I don't see the pro-Black, and that's what stands out to me with K. Dot. That stands heavily out.
But it doesn't have to be. But it don't have to be pro-Black though.
I think it's but that's important. With what K. Dot is doing,
right?
Though.
But what I'm saying is, when she said it's not pro-Black, it's more so. Okay, he's pro-Black, but now you don't have to be black or whatever. It's now pro whatever you represent. So that sport, that's what I'm looking at. So that sport that you're in, you have to represent. Because like she said, he's pro-black, whatever. So now that athlete has to be their pro whatever they are in, whether they believe in sports or whatever. But it's just they represent what they believe in.
They represent what they represent,
right.
and they are able to do it without alienating.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Others.
Right.
So that's really more where we're coming from. Also, just to add a little something, I think Ice Cube did have something to say about what happened on stage with the fan, and it was kind of deemed a little shady because he was just like, well, don't bring fans on stage, just rap to your show. But it was deemed a little shady because Ice Cube paved the way. And so at this point,
like
Kendrick Lamar is getting he has a Pulitzer Prize. Nobody else in the rap game. I mean, clearly, Dr. Dre is a billionaire, things like that. But there's a little hate because it's like we set you up for success.
Who said that? Don't bring fans. That's kind of like shut up and
Ice
dribble.
Cube did.
That's kind of like shut up and dribble almost.
Ice Cube said that.
Real quick, go to you seen what the people saying on chat?
Someone said Russell Westbrook. Someone said, how can you say no to Cap and yes to Kobe? #stop it.
Hit the button. Hit the button, bro.
Stop it.
That's D. Harrington, man. Shout out, bro.
D. Harrington said LeBron James, and I was thinking LeBron. I'm trying to think
but the reason I didn't say LeBron because we always say LeBron.
And I'm trying to think current.
Right. But LeBron does it, whether it's pro bracket or anything. And he's stepping outside, meaning he is probably going to eventually be Oscar Emmy worthy because he's making movies. He's doing this. But I don't want to every week we have this. We say LeBron, and that's kind of what happens.
Right. You know what though? What I was going to say is the only thing is I was going to say Russell Wilson, but he doesn't. Russell Wilson really doesn't stand for anything in the NFL or stand for anything. That's the only thing.
Anything.
Russell Wilson is a robot.
Yeah.
He is a robot.
Yes.
Right.
He
and
just. I'm here, and I'm playing football. Like
he's just from a small town of Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one because I'm sure it's the next one.
I would say Vic in the past too, if Vic was like that in a sense, but I can't. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, we got a next one. So recently, Drake and the Migos announced that they're going on tour together this summer. The Aubrey and the Three Amigos tour. So clearly, both of these artists,
Three Amigos.
clearly, both of these artists they have sort of capitalized on the genre of hip hop that they do. Migos with their bubblegum trap. Drake with his, melodic singing and rapping style. So I'm just wondering, give me a duo of maybe players who have played together or who you would put together that kind of have that same chemistry. I feel like they're like play cousins or something, like walking like a talking, like, you know what I mean?
LeBron and the Miami Heat. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade.
Give him a stop because you just said we're not saying LeBron James.
But we talking about you can get it to me, but we talking about Drake and the Migos. It just always is like.
I'm just saying because
he always control the narrative. Like right. you know what I always say, he want to control the narrative. He controlling the narrative.
He just gave a speech and then he was
but
LeBron.
It just instantly came
okay, so that paired up.
Mm-hmm. Because they're going to run in the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be It should be a OVO song.
So let's pick somebody that's
if you asked this
nice
question
and
last
garbage.
year, if you asked this question last year, it would have easily been the Golden State Warriors.
Right. Yeah, because Kevin
But
Durant.
now we
don't know because they is hurt.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. We can say the Oklahoma City Thunder because Drake is up there, especially how he killed Pusha T yesterday. And then
Pusha coming back. No, hey,
he should have came back yesterday. But anyway,
Pusha, it took Drake a few days.
But look, no, it didn't. It took Drake today.
You think he just heard that song yesterday?
Whatever. So look, the thing is, you got Drake who's up there, and then with the Amigos, who's everybody hype, but they probably garbage. You think?
We in the A, they gonna come for your head, boy.
Paul George and, you know what I'm saying? But for real, like, because Paul George, it was hyped. And that was the big thing. And it's like, it didn't turn out to be.
John Carlos Stanton and Aaron Judge now. How about that?
Gregorius, Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
That they got. I like that one because of the potential. And I think with the Drake and Migos tour, there's a lot of potential for it to be great. But if you've seen the Migos live,
that's why
they have no stage presence.
But that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Russ.
And it's crazy because they fans will be out there like getting it.
But I think with the tour, you're going more off potential.
Right.
That's why the Yankees, I think, would be a better.
Well, right, and I guess I'm saying right, and I'm saying like before.
But it could be disappointing,
I'm just saying,
like Oklahoma City.
Right.
But what I'm saying is before the season, though, it was
right.
Or it could be because like I said, Russ was that guy. Drake is up there. I was gonna talk about Minnesota Timberwolves, but you didn't have that.
So have y'all seen their interviews?
Cool.
What, Migos?
Yes. Like they need PR or they need like they be sitting there like, yeah. Can you expound on that answer, please?
Well, that's why I say again. That's why I say you got Oklahoma City because they're not Yankees winning. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the Yankees are doing it, but it just reminds me of, and I'm not saying that it's going to be trash, but it just reminds me of. We thought that with Oklahoma City, we thought that it was going to be, it was big. You had Russ, and then you add the two guys to help him out, and I'm just going on, like I said, before we saw the results. Could it be like that? Because there was a lot of potential. We still didn't know. Or could it be Chris Paul and
I mean, you could think about the potential with the Yankees as we thought they was going to dominate. And look at Boston. Boston is.
No, but Yankees balling too.
Yeah, but they ain't balling enough.
They tied for number one, right? Or number one?
I think they 2 or 3 games out.
But either or. That was a good one. Like I said, it's a few people that you can throw in. But
well, we know John Carlos Stanton can stand by himself like Drake can stand by himself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but stand by themselves too. I mean, they have their fan base, the people who are definitely dedicated and about them. Whether we personally feel like they're good or not good, people are definitely checking for them. They're definitely on top.
Hey. If I'm in a club, I want to hear Migos.
LA said now.
I'm not going to talk about what if I'm a ride listening to hip hop. If I'm in a club, walk it like I talk it. Hey, walk it. You know what I'm saying?
Before we go to break, LA said he's saying, where go? He's saying LA Rams.
Migos,
Rams.
And Migos are somebody say Migos are the Anna Kournikova of hip hop. All hype.
See? All right, look, we're going to take a quick break. Appreciate you, Crystal, for that.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back.
Yo, what's up? This your boy Marcus Banks to the Big Three of the Ghost Ballers. You listening to the Sports Lounge with my main man, Mr. Controversy.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Sit back with me, the baseball antagonist. Pull up your favorite chair, grab a drink, and listen as Mr. Controversy helps us relax with his sports knowledge in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, right here on the 3-Point Conversion Station.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Having a great time. Doing our thing. You know how we do it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Terry Joe Harper, who played for the Atlanta Braves from 19 1980 to 1987, who is in Cindy Cuts Barbershop right now. What's going on, Terry? I see you, but you don't see me. Now, we're having fun right now. We're doing what we need to do, but it's about to go up another notch because we have somebody in the building. Well, they're calling in, but they're technically in the building. And I was a big fan of the 49ers back in the day. I'm not going to lie, Steve Young. I can name the whole offensive lineman, including our next guest, Mr. Derek Deese.
Showing his age.
What's going on? Hey, Derek, he talking about you, Derek. You hear that? Derek, he talking about you.
Talking about you.
What's going on, Derek?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Nothing much,
How your Saturday going, brother?
What's going on? It's all going good, getting ready to get underway, really.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
So, look, we going to jump right into it, bro. The NFL, so they decided, and it's like they always do this, and then something happens, which makes it worse. I don't know
why we doing this?
Yeah, but either or, the NFL came out with the Anthem policy or rule, which if you all don't know, now players, they're no longer allowed to protest, the national anthem. They will get fined. If they don't want to, I guess, join or participate in the national anthem, they can stay inside the locker room or in an isolated area. Your thoughts on this, sir? You're an ex-NFL player, former NFL player. Your thoughts on this?
Here's the thing, the NFL, obviously, it's a private corporation, so, they're entitled to do certain things that other jobs are not naturally entitled to do. But the one thing is this: everyone talks about, they can stop the protest, they can stop the protest. Well, you really can't stop the protest. Here's the thing: they gave you a way of not, to say, hey, look, you don't have to come out of the locker room, or you can come onto the field, you can warm up, do whatever you want to do, and you can just stay in the locker room before when the anthem's being played, or they're going to have a spot, I guess, on the side of a tunnel sometimes where you come out that you can just stay there and not be seen. So let's just get it straight. If the players are upset about two things. One, if they're upset about not being able to protest in front of everyone, right? And show their solidarity one way, they can always do it another way. So there's always ways around things, right? So if they're upset with the fact that they feel like maybe the NFL is stepping on their rights and not even giving them that opportunity, which now I think the whole thing has changed. It's become a bigger deal. So, the fact that the protest was one thing, the fact that people now went to look at it and say, oh, this was just being disrespectful to the anthem, which it was never about the anthem. Let's just, let it be known it never was about the anthem. And then now you feel like, well, as a player, okay, now it's not even about the anthem, and it's not about, injustice. It's now, you're now just not even giving me a right to do something. So that's a bigger deal. That's a bigger deal to me as just a player, as a person. So now if you're just trying to take my rights away based off of, 45 and what he has to say and how many times he's attacking people and so forth, he's allowed to have his rights because he can say what he wants to say, and he doesn't care what anybody has to say against him other than don't insult me because I'm the president. Well, that's too bad. Everybody gets insulted, when they say something dumb. So now the players can all just stay in the locker room, okay? The thing that I think that people tend to forget is that, early in NFL, players never even came out for the anthem. They never did. Everybody stayed in the locker room. Right. Yeah. After the anthem was played, then players came out. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear anybody complaining about the players staying in the locker room back then. I never heard anyone say anything about it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until the military decided that this was a great opportunity to use this as a recruiting tool that they wanted the players to start coming out onto the field. They paid the league a lot of money, and players were asked to come out onto the field. So, you know, if the players want to really get together and say, hey, look, I get it. It's not really about the protest anymore. It's not about being disrespectful. Now it's about you guys are just trying to take our rights. And if we allow you to do this, what else are you going to come up with later? Then all players just stay in the locker room.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
That's a fact, man. That's good talk, man. I wish that everybody could. Everybody is going to hear this, and they're going to pay attention to what's going on, man. That was real talk there, for real.
Real quick, I remember, and I've mentioned this on the show before before we got on the air. We were on the podcast, but that was one of the things I always stated was they just started doing this not too long ago. NFL players, they stayed in the locker room, and you're right though.
And like you said, even with 45, he just recently got a judge said that he can't block people from responding to his tweets. So he wasn't controlling the narrative.
That's how he thinks, though. You know what I mean? Like, I can say what I want to say, but you can't say nothing against me. Like, come on, man, get out of here.
Right.
Come on.
Right now, with that being said, Derek, what are your thoughts on the how the NFLPA not only has handled this situation, but overall over the last few years, how have they represented the players? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, the NFLPA, you know, what's interesting about the PA is that they can pick and choose their battles, which, I mean, you have to. You have to give some, and then you obviously you're going to take some. This one, I think that, you know, they're going to look at it real hard because, one, they weren't involved in the decision. Mm-hmm. So they didn't have a say. So they're not going to let the league just come in and walk over the players, you know. So sometimes you hear players get upset with the PA about, you know, hey, look, they're not really here for us, or, you know, they split it always 50-50, and sometimes you have to. Does it bother you as a player sometimes? Yeah, because the union is a little bit different than other unions. You know, the way they handle things is a little different. You know, it's not always every player vote. You know, it's almost sometimes it's about, you know, you have your rep and your rep speaks for you, but sometimes your rep doesn't have the same opinion as you do. You know what I mean? So you might have a team that has 30 guys that say no, and you might have a rep that says, oh, I'm going to say yes because that's what I feel. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it works sometimes. So most unions, you know, the real unions, everybody votes on every issue. So it's a little different, but when you deal with the PA together and get them all going, I think for the most part they look after the players for sure.
And once again, we're here live with Super Bowl champion, former NFL player Derek Deese. Now, in saying all of that, what's going on with Dez, bro? Dez Bryant, he hadn't found a team, or a team hadn't really seeked him out, I guess. I don't know. What's going on? Like, why isn't he with the team right now? Is he being picky, or the team staying away from him? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, let's just go back to when Dez was, you know, it was a decision that Dez had to make. And the decision was, do I take a pay cut, or do I, you know, put myself out there? And sometimes, you know, well, not sometimes, most of the time, it's all about timing. Mm-hmm. And so he wouldn't take the cut. A lot of people, I mean, there was a lot of people saying, hey, Dez, take the pay cut, because you kind of could see what would happen, and you can see how it plays itself out. And a lot of times guys think that sometimes, you know, hey, look, I'm worth more than what you really are. And it's hard sometimes as a player to say, hey, look, I'm not worth that $12 million or $13 million a year now. Maybe I'm only worth $5 or $6 or $7 million a year, which is still a lot of money, you know. But guys sometimes just, you know, they have this feeling about themselves of, I'm the guy, I'm number one, I'm so on, and I deserve to get this. You want me to take a pay cut? Well, I'll take $500,000 off. You know, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to split it in half. Well, here's the thing: he didn't do that, and then Jerry Jones, obviously, he held him out for a while. You know, he didn't allow him to. He didn't make that decision right when free agency started. He made that decision that well after free agency. You know, a month or so after. So when you start looking at timing, man, all the guys that, you know, were even mediocre, they were signed by then, and that money was gone. And so now that money's not there like that. So if he's still looking for that $12 million or $10 million a year, it's not there right now. So he has to wait. And what he's going to have to do, he's going to have to wait, you know, to see what happens during summer camp. Because obviously, you know, it's the league. Players get hurt. ACLs get torn, you know. Guys go down, whatever, for whatever reason. Some guys might get to camp and decide, you know, hey, I got a concussion and I'm retiring. And so it's all kind of things that happen. But it's not going to happen, you know, right this second. And there's not going to be a team right now that's just going to say, yeah, we're going to give you the $10 million. But now when guys start getting hurt, now all of a sudden that leverage comes up a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So now he can get some money out of it. But once again, it goes back to sometimes you have to put your pride aside, you know, and understand that it's a business. And when you're not, you know, when you're not making the numbers that people are expecting you to make for the amount of money that you are getting paid, you know, you're going to end up taking a cut. And so sometimes you got to make that smart decision. To me, I think he should have just taken the cut and then worked on something where he could have had maybe some incentives that brought him back up to that.
Absolutely.
You know, so I don't think he wanted to work off of incentives. You know, sometimes you have to drop down, you have to drop your salary down, you know, and say, okay, I'll bring it down to this. But if I start hitting these numbers that you want me to hit, that you're saying I'm not really getting, I'm not getting for you, then let's bring my numbers back up to what it should be. And a lot of times that's really what it's about.
Absolutely. And I'll never forget, you know, just a quick side point with that is Greg Jennings, when it was first happening, he said when he left Minnesota that last year, they wanted him to take a pay cut. He said his worst decision was not taking that pay cut.
Right. Well, and Greg was on a show. He actually spoke out and said, hey, Des, take the cut.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, take the cut. And so, you know, you learn. You think people would learn from others and see that, you know, hey, look, you know, there's things that you have to do that you don't want to do sometimes. But obviously it wasn't important enough for him to stay there, or he thought he was bigger than the game. And then when you start thinking you're bigger than the game, that's when reality strikes.
Well, hopefully we see him on a team. I mean, he's still, I guess, pretty decent talent because we have an NFL player. I won't be Mr. Controversy, like I normally say. But anyway, but Derek, man, we appreciate you for coming on, man. And, you know, you're always welcome, of course. So make sure you have a great weekend, sir. Eat good and enjoy yourself.
Definitely. I appreciate it. Hey, let me know. Anytime you want me on, I'll come back. It's no problem.
No doubt. Okay, appreciate that. And we're going to take you up on that offer, too. All right, there you have it. There's garbage. But anyway.
No separation.
What up, Holyfield? We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The Georgia Renaissance Festival is open all 3 days of Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Bring the whole family and see the death-defying full-armored joust. Feast on giant turkey legs and Shop the 32-acre Artisan Village. Memorial Day Monday, all military get in free with ID, plus up to 4 family members at just $8 each at the gate. Find other discounts at GARenfest.com.
What's up? This is Justin Gibbons, defensive back, Montreal Alouettes, and I'm just kicking back listening to that 3-point conversion radio with my boy, Mr. Controversy.
You're back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Mr. Controversy in this mug. Talking about that garbage show, the Game of Thrones.
Can't get past the first episode.
I know people get mad.
I cannot get past the first episode, dog.
Crystal said give me a stopping for that.
Cannot get past the first episode, dog.
Watch that crap.
D. Me neither, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Like, I've tried. I cannot.
That show, what's the other show? The Walking Dead? Must be watching that with football. Like, bro, you
I rock with The Walking Dead.
You watch that over a football game?
Nah.
Yeah, don't be watching it because
Nah. I got a Fire Stick, dog.
Right. Oh. But anyway, just playing. I'm with you, dog. I'm with you, dog. Ain't paying for no cable, dog.
Yeah, dog.
All right, so look. Major League Baseball time. Got to talk about these hot Atlanta Braves. They lost last night. Man, it's like these jokers lose every Friday. Like, I don't know. Ever since Crystal started doing the news, they lose. So now I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you. No, but it's like, man, but they're still on top. All seriously, though. I think that the Braves right now, I wonder what is going to happen because you have Freddie Freeman, you have a few, veterans, but for the most part, these guys are young. Mm-hmm. How will they deal with this adversity? Because Philly is right on your tail. I think Philly is tied with them right now or close. I know they're number 2.
Braves are a half game ahead.
Half game? Okay, so they're half game ahead. They essentially tied. Golly, this just ain't Philly ain't played the other game, but no, I'm just playing. But you're right, they have game ahead, and then the Mets are lurking. Like we thought it was a wrap.
Yeah, when dude tore his.
Yeah, when he tore his toe or something, whatever he did. Yeah, hurt his big toe.
Something.
He hurt his big toe, but it's a
big toe.
It's a race, man. Right now, you know what? How do you think they respond?
So what we've been expecting all seasons for them to fall off, right?
Yeah, they haven't.
And they haven't. So I expect them to continue to do what they're doing. I mean, they in one of them, divisions where anything can happen. Because we didn't expect Philly to be there, right?
Right.
And they're there, and Atlanta's there. So as we get further on, like we continue to say, like you kind of go into what you are, and it kind of seems like they are a good enough team to make the playoffs. Can it still falter? Yes. But Philly can falter. The Mets can falter. You know what I mean? It seemed like they playing good baseball.
Right.
Like, that's just what it is.
And you see, like we talked about last week, the averages are going to, take over. Like, just the law of averages. We saw how Ronald Acuna, I still love the way he plays, how his average has dipped to like 240-something.
Mm-hmm.
Albies is what? I think 281, 270-something. But they get them hits when they need them.
And the other players are doing things. You know what I mean? It's not just dependent on them. Maybe in the beginning they carried it, but it allowed everybody else to just play baseball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this then. With that division, it's early, we know, but we have to ask the question. Do you think 2 teams come out of that division?
Nah.
Or who do
not
you
in the
think?
National League.
And you
The
still,
National League.
have Washington in there too. I
Right,
forgot to mention Washington. They're like right there. What is that Washington's record? They're like 2 games back or something like that?
They're 2 games back.
Yeah.
See, that's a tight. That's tight, and it's still early because you got to remember we're not even halfway through the season.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you expect Washington to do what? Because they was expected to run away with the division, right?
Right.
And they're not. So you're going to expect them, regardless if it's now or July, or you expect them to have one of them runs, right? One of them 15 out of 20 game runs. You know.
Correct.
So let's say I don't know if I can see 2 because now you got to think about what else is what is the rest of the National League doing.
Well,
you know what I mean? Meaning the Central,
right now it's 2 wild card spots, right? Right now it would be the Phillies and the Pirates. The Nationals are a half game back of that, and the Mets are a game and a half back.
So they're right there. Right. So they're right there.
Who leading the Pirates division? Is it the Cardinals?
Yeah. No. It's the Brewers.
The Brewers. Brewers. Yeah. So I mean,
so I think now thinking with that, I think that division is going to, if there is going to be 2, I would think that division may come out with 2 more than the division with Atlanta and the Mets and the Phillies.
Right.
Because if you're figuring, you're saying Milwaukee is leading the division now, Pittsburgh is in the wild card. I'm sure the Cubs are not that far off.
A game behind.
They're a half game back of the Pirates.
Exactly.
So, like you said, it's a lot of baseball, but Philly, they're young too. I mean, so I wonder.
You know, it goes to that thing we don't know we're supposed to be losing.
Right. So, because we have like a minute or so left on the segment, I want to talk about this situation with the Boston Red Sox. So, they have Hanley Ramirez. Mm-hmm. They had him, and he was at this point he was a stud when he first came in with the Marlins, but now he's much older. He's been labeled a bad teammate, and he had like $15 million beginning of the season left on his contract. So the Red Sox decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and designate him for assignment. Now, if no one picks him up, or trades, for him, which I cannot
not
see
for
that.
no $15 million.
Yeah. When he becomes a free agent, is he worth getting
the headache? Are you
the
saying
headache? For a team that needs him. Because now with a young team, I wouldn't say the Braves because they're young. You don't
want that in your clubhouse.
But with a veteran team, Seattle, somebody like Seattle.
I think it goes into your locker room and the veterans that you have in your locker room. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you don't want to bring not a head case, but you don't want to bring quote unquote a cancer in your locker room when you're trying to win.
Right.
You're trying to do this, but could he come in and possibly replace that bat? So he's not going to replace Cano's bat.
No.
Right. But that first month he batted 3-something.
Right.
May he batted 1-something. So was it he was hot and he's because of the last few years he's been that lower out of 35 out of his position in 35 he's been 30 and lower.
Right.
So could we be sending in?
I don't know, man. I think sometimes you have teams and he might not get picked up right away, but I think he would be a great pickup for a team that might need somebody might go down, God forbid, or you just need somebody to come in as a, just to, hey,
there's no team. There's no team that's picking up that $15 million.
No, but they won't pick it up.
Right, he's gonna get released. I'm feeling he's gonna get released. They're gonna have to pay him his $15 million.
It's gonna be like $100,000.
And then at that point he's open to whatever
so
just to play ball.
Is he still worth a headache?
Again, it depends. You know what I'm saying? What team you gonna go to? What's going on? Like even with I don't know. Where do you go? Like you know what I mean? Like what do you do? Texas,
Seattle,
because he can only play first base or a designated hit.
That's why it's gonna be
it's gonna have to be American League team.
Seattle, maybe Oakland is doing well, but What if, I mean, just
like a Baltimore don't need him because they finna blow it up. Kansas City gonna blow it up. Like,
right.
We could be seeing the end of them.
I don't know. I mean, Yankees want to be petty and get him.
Why?
Just to be petty and then mess around. And
then come and hit a home run in Game 7 of the ALCS against Boston.
Hey,
that sounds like a Yankees-Boston series, don't it?
When the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round can draft a tight end that they don't need right before the Cowboys.
Just so the Cowboys would again. And David Akers get up there and say the pick.
Eddie. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's up? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And you know what this music means. It is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we want to give a couple of shouts out. We probably want to shout you out as well. First, I want to shout out to the man upstairs, God Almighty. Appreciate you, homie, for letting me have this platform. Man, giving me this platform to talk my mess, do what I do, make you happy, upset, mad, want to get me to stop it. Button, whatever it is. but man, it's a dream come true, man. If I always said if I couldn't play sports, I would coach. If I couldn't coach, I would get paid to talk about it. So I just thank God. Also, I want to thank my co-host, The Intellectual. Appreciate you, sir.
Man, appreciate you. Glad for being here again, like we do every Saturday morning. You know how we get down. Shout out to God, definitely, for giving us this opportunity and everything that we do. Shout out to Mr. Controversy for this day we had, this great show. We always keep it rocking, keep it funky every Saturday morning. Thank you, Crystal, for being here and making our day great and bringing our little segment together. It definitely was great today. G, you know how we do. Appreciate you for everything you do. And all our family, friends, and everybody that tune in every Saturday morning listening to the 3-Point Conversion. We appreciate y'all. Continue to be here for us, calling in, talking about certain things. We need y'all support. And when we get great, y'all going to be great with us.
All right. That's what's up. And also, I want to shout out to and thank our guests, Ab Stanley, the 3-Point Conversion senior writer, and Mr. Derek Deese, excuse me, the former San Francisco 49er and Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Also want to thank my family, my beautiful wife, my children, my brother in town. What up, John? And also, I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Cindy Barbershop and Sucker Free Life LLC. I want to thank the beautiful Crystal Dayan. Appreciate you, G. Gary, they don't know what he do in the background, but he does a lot. Yes, live life, eat good, watch sports, be safe. Watch out for them cops.
Shout out to everybody in the shot that's in Atlanta.
Right. And until then, will you miss me? We're out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.